Hi, I'm John. This is my show, An American Scheme, where I'm proving that Diana Ross is Michael Jackson's actual mother. So I'm going to do a little bit about talking about Michael Jackson and his friends today on this episode. And this picture here, that's Tatum O'Neal. And when I get into her father is Ryan O'Neal. And it's one of these things with these stories and these people and these famous people. And there's no way I can actually cover what's all going on. There's just so many people. It's just crazy when you get into these stories. So one of the things here I want to show you about. So there's Tatum O'Neal and Michael. They actually had a relationship, a formal relationship, and they spent time together. They were good friends, So, but Tatum O'Neal. So this picture here is from a movie. I'm assuming it's from a movie called International Velvet, because she played in a movie where she starred in a movie where she would have rode a horse, and it was called International Velvet. Okay, so Michael Jackson, one of his really good friends we all know is Elizabeth Taylor. So if it wasn't Elizabeth Taylor's first movies, it's one of her really, really early movies. She starred in a movie called National Velvet. And then so this movie here would have been a remake of that called International Velvet. And it was about a little girl. The National Velvet, that movie is a really good, if you ever want to see a really good Elizabeth Taylor movie, I would recommend watching National Velvet. She's just a young kid. And that's the thing too with Michael Jackson, and he likes these young actors. And so National Velvet's one of those types of movies where Elizabeth Taylor's just a young girl in that movie, and she's riding a horse. She ends up taking her horse over to London, I think, and she ends up having to ride the horse in the race because the jockey, something happened, he quit. So she rides it and she wins the race. And then at the end of the race, they're like, it's a girl. And it's so funny. It's such a good movie. And then so this movie here would have been a remake of that called International Velvet, and it would have been starring Tatum O'Neal. And so that's what I'm saying to you. These are obvious kind of things that Michael Jackson and movies that he would have been interested in, because these are people he knew, and he definitely would have been interested in these kind of things. So then I want to show you Tatum O'Neal and her father starred in this movie called Paper Moon. Now this is one of my all-time favorite movies. Now this movie, as you see, it's in black and white, but it's in black and white because of their director was trying to be artistic. He's doing it to make it look like of the era of the movie, because the movie I think is in 1973. Okay, so Tatum O'Neal wins for this role here. She's just a little kid. She wins the Oscar for the leading role, the leading female role, the actress. She wins the Oscar this year for this role. Okay, that's how big what her character here was, so good. And so that's one of the things too about her character. She's a young hustler, and these are the kind of, Michael would have been hanging out with people like this, and this character, Michael most likely have been familiar with this movie. So I'm going to show you a part of a part from the clip of this movie.
Where are we now?
We just left Plainville. $12 for a Bible, then it's up to 24. If I stay with you, I'll spend the rest of my life in jail.
There's a depot in Lincoln. You can take me to Lincoln.
You bet I will. Where's Lincoln?
Clear over there.
Oh, boy, you think I'm going to take you clear over there just to get you to some depot?
Then keep going east. We'll hit one in Sylvan Grove.
Where's Sylvan Grove?
Right here.
Well, that'll take us down through Lucas.
You gotta go through something that gets us Sylvan Grove.
I am not complaining. I'm just saying it'll take you through Lucas.
You gotta go through Paradise and Waldo and Luray and
Luray,
Lucas.
huh?
You wanna get to Sylvan
Well,
Grove.
those are pretty good towns in there. We could do some business in there.
Well, it won't matter much. We're out of Bibles anyway.
What do you mean we're out of Bibles? Why didn't you tell me we're out of Bibles?
You looked in the box too, don't you?
Oh, you've got an excuse for everything.
Because you blame me for
If we were running out of Bibles, you should have told me we were running out of Bibles.
Well, we're running out of Bibles.
Oh, then we gotta get new ones.
Then let's get new ones.
We can fix them up in Great Bend.
Great Ben's the other way.
Well, we gotta have Bibles, don't we? Let's see, now we can veer down to Lucas, and we'll veer over to Wilson, veer off to Lorraine and Bushton.
And we could be out to Hoisington.
Just have to keep on veering, that's all.
Just gotta keep veering. This movie is just so good. It's so funny, and it's just so well done. It's really an artistic movie, but with they're hustlers, and she's a young hustler. He's teaching her. It's such a good movie. So, but in real life, that's father and daughter in real life. And so in real life, that's Ryan O'Neal. And so Ryan O'Neal, when you look into his story, he's got all kinds of crazy stuff, you know. But one of the things I was looking on right here that I was like, wow, that's crazy. So they're talking about movies and stuff like that he had done in the past and stuff. And so this is something that almost he had done. And so it said, around this time, O'Neal was meant to star in The Bodyguard from Lawrence Kasdan's script opposite Diana Ross for director John Borman. However, the film fell over when Ross pulled out, and it would not be made until 1992 with Kevin Costner in O'Neal's old role. So that's The Bodyguard movie with Whitney Houston, and then Kevin Costner, which the Whitney Houston song in that, I Will Always Love You, that was recommended by Kevin Costner. So that song never even appears in the movie, and Whitney Houston never even sings it. If they would have originally have done the movie, then the Whitney Houston one never even appears. That doesn't even exist. So it's one of the things that the connection with Ryan O'Neal and Diana Ross. And then so down here, when it talks about his relationships, it talks about relationships that he was in, and there. Okay, so it says, O'Neal was in a long-term relationship with actress Farrah Fawcett from 1979 until 1997. They had a tumultuous relationship due to the infidelity and volatile behavior. Fawcett ended the relationship after she discovered O'Neal in bed with actress Leslie Stephenson. O'Neal and Fawcett reunited in 2001 and were together until her death in 2009. And then it says down here, other people that he had dated through his life, and if you see here it says Diana Ross. Okay, so he actually dated her for a period of two, so they actually had a relationship. So him and Diana Ross, you know, so he's dating Diana Ross, and Michael Jackson is dating Tatum O'Neal. You know, it's the crazy relationships of what's going on with these people. It's really wild. And then if you don't know, Farrah Fawcett, she died on the same day as Michael Jackson.
Hey Ryan, how's Farrah? Is she okay?
How's she doing?
Farrah's gone.
Oh my God.
She's gone, Brian?